Hello, this is Anirban Saha, and you are listening to one new episode of Season 1, where we interview an informatics student doing a student job here in Magdeburg. Today we have with us Fatima Idris, who studies digital engineering at this university and works in 2 research institutes. The entire list of her work profile here in Magdeburg is a bit too long, and we'll do this after this music. Hello Fatima.
Hello Anirban.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Great.
As we know, you are currently working in Leibniz Institute of Neurobiology, and you're working at the Institute of Competence and Automobility at this university.
Yeah.
You have previously worked with the Faculty of Natural Science.
Yeah.
And in a company in Magdeburg
yes.
as a tester.
Yeah.
And you have also been a tutor for the course Introduction to Deep Learning.
Yes, I have done all of that. I'm doing it.
How many more do you want?
I don't know how many more I want, but I probably want to continue towards my thesis now.
Which semester are you in?
I am now enrolled in my 5th semester. I've completed my 4th semester, and now this winter will be my 5th semester.
Did you have any work experience back in Pakistan?
Yes, I had almost 2.5 years of work experience as an electrical engineer in a defense organization, and I had an internship experience as a programmer for about 3 to 4 months. And also I had some teaching experience for technical DAE students. Yeah.
That's a lot for me to process.
Okay.
So, I'll start with an offbeat question which I did not ask the other guests. Do you think that doing these jobs, it becomes easier for you as a person and you become more confident when you approach the world outside this university, when you approach them for jobs or further research across the globe?
Yeah, definitely, because I feel initially applying for my first job or getting in, I was so unsure of whether I fulfill the criteria or not. But one thing that I have learned after doing so many different things and so many different jobs is that you do not have to tick all the boxes of the employer just to apply. You can actually apply and be confident and tell them that you can learn that on the go. No one knows everything, so you do not have to be so sure that if I know everything, then only I can apply. You just have to be confident that, okay, this is something I want to do, or this is something that I would like to learn, and then you apply. You're having obviously the basic skill set, then you can apply. So it gives you a lot of confidence in your own ability as well, that you can take on and learn new things on the go and adapt to different kinds of environments and work with different kinds of supervisors and peoples and all that.
Yeah, and people from different cultures.
People from different culture, obviously, from back in Pakistan and here also in Magdeburg. I worked with people who are from different ethnic backgrounds in different countries, and all my supervisors, one might be from India. I worked with one of my supervisors is a German, one of my supervisors is not a German also. So yeah, I worked with all these different people, so it gives you a kind of confidence that I can do that.
That's cool. What is your job responsibility at the Leibniz Institute of Neurobiology?
Okay, at the Leibniz Institute of Neurobiology, I'm actually working with the Institute of Psychology. There's an ongoing research that they are doing that with the hand movement, they are broadly explaining, they are trying to classify the level of disease of a person. That is the end goal. But right now what we have this time series data from the Sense Glove, from different sorts of gloves that we do. We have these data, and our part, we are trying to basically understand the data, classify the data at the very initial stages, classify the movements, then classify the subjects, classify the age groups, and all that stuff. So working with the time series data, trying to understand what model fits the best and trying all these different approaches. So I'm basically working on the data. Broadly explaining, I'm working in the signals and machine learning. So machine learning and signal processing are two main research areas that I have here.
If I may ask,
yeah,
what is your role in the Institute of Competence and Automobility?
Okay, so Institute of Competence and Automobility, they are usually working on data from engines and all that parts, like hardware parts. So what they require is visualizations of how the pressure, how these different quantities affect the parts. So they want the visualization. So I started off working with research on different graphic libraries that are available, and now I'm working towards creating a visualization tool for them that can visualize as per their requirements, and that they need to have it a personalized tool for themselves and not taking a tool from outside, like not take a GUI from outside and create their own tool.
I see your first work was with the Faculty of Natural Science,
yes,
with Shomi.
Yeah.
Did your previous work experience back in Pakistan help you get that job?
Actually, yes, because the work was translating a MATLAB package into Python. So since I'm an electrical engineer, I have had extensive experience with MATLAB. So I definitely did not had any experience with MATLAB here. That whatever I applied, when I applied there, only thing of MATLAB that was there on my CV was from my bachelor's. So whatever I have done in bachelor's with MATLAB. So I got it on the basis of that, and then translating that into Python was something that helped me learn Python a lot more. So yeah.
So from electrical engineering to now deep learning.
Yeah.
How has been the journey?
Quite interesting and different, because you have had breaks and times when you don't know what you are doing, and I took a lot of time personally to figure out what I want to do and what courses do I want to take, what areas interest me, or what do I want to do in general, because you cannot expect an electrical engineer to come and just do a computer science degree and know. I did not even know what database is. So you cannot even expect an electrical engineer, because all that I knew was circuits, transformers, machines, AC machines, DC machines. That's what all my knowledge was about. I only knew that I could program somehow. So that's what in my mind computer science was, that it's programming, but it's not programming. It's a lot more than that. So yeah, it took time, but you eventually find your area of interest in it.
Could you tell us a bit about how you landed your first job?
In Magdeburg?
Yeah.
Actually, I saw that post on the Facebook group for digital engineering. From there, my supervisor had posted that he's looking for someone who wants a MATLAB package to be translated into Python. But I think he just mentioned that he wants someone with the knowledge of MATLAB and Python. So I applied. Then he had different applicants. He gave me a task that you have to first summarize the whole code and give me a brief of the MATLAB code, that what you understand and what you think is happening there. So there was I had to do a task, and I submitted the task, and then in 1 week he responded back that okay, I was selected for that job, and that's how I got it. Like I had to do a task for
So from a Facebook group?
From a Facebook Digital Engineering OVGU official Digital Engineering Facebook group. Yeah.
Like we call it official, but it isn't
it
really
is not
official.
like official. It's the maximum number of students. Yeah.
Okay. How did you end up being a testing person in a startup in Magdeburg?
That I got from the app UniNow. I saw that they were looking for work student. I applied because it was related to some electrical stuffs. I applied there, and they were actually looking for, when I went there, they had multiple stuffs they wanted the student to do. They would want him to design a web page or cloud-based server for them, and they would want them to either do the testing of their they used to produce emulators and all these hardware stuff. So the software testing for them. So since I had this knowledge of embedded systems and assembly language and all this stuff from my bachelor's, so it was mostly based on what I did previously. So this is how I got that with Abaxer.
I'll ask you another different question.
Okay.
Please forgive me.
No.
So you have worked in a startup.
Yeah.
You have worked as a tutoring people, students.
Yes.
And you have also worked in the domain of research.
Yeah.
Given an opportunity to choose one in the future,
yeah,
what would you?
Tutorship, like to teach people. Because I think when you are teaching, you are anyways into research, and I like academics the most. So if it given, I have because I have already worked a full-time job in a company in Pakistan, so I know I am not a person who would want to probably work in a 9-to-5 proper office job. I would prefer doing a research work where I can set up my own schedule and research. So yeah, so teaching, I like that. I like teaching. I like and then that you obviously, if you do a PhD, you are obviously doing a research, and then you can teach. Yeah.
This brings me to my next question.
Yeah.
You have been a tutor here.
Yeah.
You want to teach.
Yeah.
Ideal is a pretty tough course here.
Yeah.
You have also taught in Pakistan. And you have been a student in Pakistan. You are a student here in Germany.
Yeah.
If asked,
okay,
how would you compare the two education systems? And how should a person from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, I mean the entire subcontinent, or international students in general, prepare for the German education system?
The biggest difference that I felt after coming here was I was lost for one semester, because in Pakistan we had our whole degrees sketched in front of us. These are the courses you are going to take in first semester, this is the second, third, fourth, and that's it. Here, they were like, you have all these research areas, you have all these courses, you can take whatever you want. And we were like, what do I do? I am not good with options. I don't know, I don't have these options there. So this was something that I faced after coming here, that you have to, a lot of self-studies involved, a lot of understanding of what you want to do. There you don't know what you want to do. There you just do, because that's the option available to you, and you will never get a chance to explore your area of interest. My biggest hurdle was when I came here till the second, or like probably till my third semester, I didn't know what my area of interest is. So I think this is one of the difference here there, that you are not given the chance to explore. So anyone who wants to come and study here from Pakistan, I would just suggest, like, at least do some try to not like come like how I did, like do some self-study, see what all is happening around in the world of tech, what would you want to do, what courses would you want to study, and what are the different areas. You should have the knowledge. Like if you just come here and then you are thrown into this big world of data science, and okay, you are thrown into this world of databases, and you have no idea, okay, what is all this? So it takes a lot of time. So that is one of that we back in Pakistan, we do not have that much exposure and options to select from. So this is one of the key difference that I've observed.
I would really want to ask you way more questions, but okay. So how many hours do you work currently?
I worked 80 hours, 40 for Leibniz Institute and 40 for Ecom.
I am doing 80 hours of work as well, and I find it incredibly tough to manage.
Yeah.
How do you manage?
It is really tough, and somehow how I manage is I work as per, I set the priority for a week. Okay, this week I have to show results for this particular task, and the other week I have to show results for the other task. So I will focus completely on one task at a time. I am not someone who can divide my day and focus on multiple things at the same time. So I usually focus on one thing at a time, get done with that, present the results, take a break from that for a couple of 2 to 3 days, do the other thing, present results, and then move on. Yes.
Doing multiple things in a day doesn't even work with me.
Yeah.
And this I realized pretty late after. Yeah, a lot of things. How important is German language skills in your life right now, since you are working with two different institutes, both of the domains different from computer science. So how important is German language skills for you to communicate with your colleagues?
To communicate with my colleagues, it's not important because I'm working in research and everyone there speaks English. That's the official language. But since I have worked in, it depends from place to place. I've worked in a company. It was difficult for me to settle in because they were all speaking in German. So if you are working in a company, you should know German. If you are working in an academic thing, you can pretty well do without the German skills. So, but yeah, just to get involved, you need to have some German skills, at least understand.
Trust me, this interview is so interesting. I would want to continue it further. But one last question.
Yeah.
Suppose an aspiring student from Pakistan is listening to this podcast right now. What would be your 2 tips for this person?
Don't be scared. It all works out. It might take some time, but you will get the hang of it and you'll know, and try to get the right guidance. Don't get scared by listening to different opinions that you might not get a job, you might not get anything. Just concentrate on developing this skill set and be confident that if you don't have it yet, you will eventually get there. And don't be scared. Just get into it. Take the risk.
And on that positive note, we end this conversation.
Thank you.
It has been such a pleasure having you. Conversing with you was really joyful.
Thank you so much. Same here.
Hi again. I thank you for listening to this episode. Please subscribe if you want further updates. Please share this with your friends to whom this could be valuable. In case you have a query or a feedback, please send me an email to mailme@anirbansaha.com. You could also send me a text on Twitter, Telegram or Skype. My username is Saha Anirban.